Laws that say laws that say are the bones of a society, but justice is the pulse that keeps it alive. Yet here in Nigeria, many people remain behind bars not because of the severity of their crimes, but simply because they cannot pay fines imposed by the courts. Today, we'll explore these issues and meet people working to change it. Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, Calabar. It's another beautiful day here on Unical Radio International 103.5 FM, your one stop for education, information, and entertainment. I'm Glory Praise, and I'm thrilled to welcome you to this exclusive interview with representatives of Gani Fawehinmi Chambers of Justice, University of Calabar, and also the team behind Project Reprieve. This conversation is particularly significant as it speaks directly to the broader quest for fairness, equity, and access to justice within our society. And you know what I like to do? Drum rolls, drum rolls, drum rolls. With us in the studio are four remarkable individuals who are part of the team making a real difference. So, Godswill Sunday Abam, who leads community outreach and pro bono legal interventions. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Glory Praise.
We also have Christopher Agbor, equity partner, legal researcher, and advocate for fairness and economic justice, also a photographer and filmmaker. Good morning.
Good morning.
And then we have Gokola James, who is a legal scholar, expert in advocacy, policy implementation, and international community engagement. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm happy to
So
be here.
good morning. Happy New Year. Good morning to the team. Together, they are transforming lives and ensuring justice is not limited to those who can afford it. Today, we'll hear from them about the challenges, success, and impact of Project Reprieve. And without further ado, I'd like to open the phone line. So, do well, call in, ask questions, interact with them, whatever you think this project should be or where this project should head. So call in at 008 944 4058. I'll call that again 080 9444 4058. So, I like this one question I always like to ask. Meet someone, a law student or a lawyer. Like, if it was not law, what would you be studying? Like, what's the other course you'd be studying or something else you'll be doing?
Okay, is that question directed to me?
It's directed to everybody. I want to know what everybody will be doing.
Okay, so if I wasn't studying law, I feel
Yes.
like I would be doing something around the tech space, particularly cybersecurity.
All right.
Yes.
So, we're safe on both and security. If you were not to be law, security,
yes.
so that's
We get
calm.
that, we get
So,
that.
Mr. Christopher, if it was not law, what else? I mean, you're already doing something, but I'd like to know what else.
Thank you. So, before law, there was filmmaking and photography. So, if it was not law, I'd be like full time. I'll be a full time photographer or filmmaker. I'll be in film school.
All right. Beautiful Gokola. If it wasn't law,
Okay, well, I'll just align with my PC. I had an interest in cybersecurity, first of all,
Wow.
before law, and also, if not cybersecurity, then something art related, maybe
Alright.
theater arts even.
That's nice. That's amazing. Now, we've explored how many people remain in custody simply because they cannot pay fines. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by the problem, but it's not all bad news. Across the country, some real progress is being made. For instance, according to the Guardian's newspaper in 2024, over 28,000 inmates were released after fines and compensations were paid, showing that when systems and intervention work together, lives can be transformed. And Gosu, can you tell us what the Gani Family Farm is all about and what Project Reprieve is all about?
Okay, thank you very much, Glory Praise, and thank you for this opportunity. So firstly, I will briefly tell you what the firm is all about. So at the Faculty of Law, we have quite a number of firms. We have like 8 student firms, and Gani Fawehinmi Chambers of Justice is unarguably the best. So what we do at the firm is we are focused on protection and promotion of human rights, and particularly students' rights, and hence our Project Reprieve, which is a criminal justice reform project. Now, what is Project Reprieve? Project Reprieve is a criminal justice project that is aimed at facilitating the effective release of persons who have been convicted solely because they are unable to pay court-imposed fines. So if you take a trip down to Afokang, I believe that most of us here in the studio know where Afokang is. That's the Calabar Custodial Center. You'll find out that there are persons in there who are in prison solely because of impecuniosity. I mean, lack of funding or lack of funds to service these fines. So the project is aimed at looking out for these persons because we believe that incarceration should be the last option of the courts when it has to do with petty offenses. So we went there, we got a database of these persons, and we looked at persons whose offenses fell within our scope of the project. So our scope of project is your offense must be non-violent, and your fine mustn't be above a particular level. We looked at offenses between 100 to 500,000 naira. So yes, that's basically what the project is about.
Okay. And when you say these people, if they don't pay the fines, like what happens to them? Because we've heard that if you don't pay the fines, you remain in African, you remain in prison. Are there other means or other options? If either you pay, or it's just you either pay the fine or you remain in jail.
Okay, so it's very clear and straightforward. When the court gives verdicts,
Yes.
and there's a particular offense, then there's a corresponding punishment attached to it. So there are some offenses that have jail term or fines. There are some that have jail term. There are some that have jail term, fines, and compensation to victims. So when there is an option of fine, it's either you pay the fine or you remain in custody. But now the thing is, at any point during your time of incarceration, you can come up, pay the fines, and you'll be released.
Okay.
So if it's not payment of fine, you do jail term.
So that means incarceration in many cases becomes the consequences of poverty rather than the gravity. That is what Project Reprieve is all about, trying to stop this consequence from eating into the society.
Oh, yes.
So how widespread you feel this problem is, and if you may, can you give us a few recent statistics?
At the Calabar Custodial Center, it is originally designed for 450 inmates, but in there we have over 675 persons in that same place. So one of the objectives of this project is to enhance prison decongestion. In there, you have persons like on our database, we had over 50 persons who were in custody because they did not have money to pay these fines. So you can now see the number. Over 50 persons were in custody just because they did not have money to pay these fines. And you think that these fines are like 6 million, 10 million. No. I mean, you can see fines as low as 90,000 naira, and somebody is doing 3 years. So you now get it. So
yes,
it's quite a lot.
Yeah, okay. Mr. Christopher, how do you identify which detainees qualify for assistance under the Project Reprieve?
All right, thanks for that question. First of all, I want to thank the efforts of the Nigerian Correctional Service, the African Custodial Center. It would not have been easy without their collaboration. So it's quite simple. Like my PC said earlier, we worked with the head of records and the records team to get records of inmates, those with offenses. And what is the scope of our project? People with fine options of 100 to 500k, 500,000 naira, and non-violent offenses. So if you tick both boxes, automatically you fall within the scope.
Okay. So could you walk us through the legal mechanics? How do you verify that paying a fine is the right remedy for a particular individual?
Okay, like I said, we worked with the head of records.
Okay.
So it was simple. We got the records, and you'd see the decision of the court there. You see what punishment was prescribed. So you would see 3 years or 300,000, 2 years or 50,000. I'm not saying that is what was on the record, but that's pretty much what it looked like. So it was easy to pick out these people and work with them.
Okay. When you say you're collaborating with the correctional authorities, do you face challenges, and how do you make this happen on ground?
Well, while we were going about this project, I would not say we faced a lot of challenges. If we faced any challenges, it would be more of monetary challenges. The people at the custodial center, like I said, they made it really, really easy for us. They took us through the processes. I mean, when we got there not exactly knowing what we were going into, right? We did not know all the processes. But when we got there, they took us through, they told us, oh, you have to do this, you have to go here, you have to go there. And without all of that, it would have not been possible. So I would say that the bigger challenges that we had were monetary challenges. Outside of that, it was a really smooth process. And once again, we are really thankful to those at the correctional center.
Okay. So Gokola, complex, very complex, I must say. What are the main challenges you face, securing this release? He said it's mostly finances, but I feel like aside finances, there will be it doesn't have to be so large of a challenge, but if it's a challenge, it's definitely a challenge.
Yes, thank you very much for that question. Okay, so administrative structures tended to face like bureaucracy. That is, certain offices have their prescribed functions and all of that. So
Yes.
one of the challenges that were faced were the fact that some files got delayed. We did not really access so much files. I remember there was a certain time my PC called me. I was like, okay, what are you doing right now? He said, oh, I'm at this place. We're trying to access the files. This is, what is keeping us and all of that. So apart from the monetary challenges, files too got delayed in certain places. But like Chris said, thank God for the guidance of the Nigerian Correctional Center to be able to like guide us, on how to go about certain things.
All right. From your perspective, what reforms would help to prevent this problem at a large scale?
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, we know that some people are in jail or are in prison because they are unable to, pay the fines. They are unable, sorry, to afford the money. Lack of funds is a problem. Some people cannot even contact their family members because they the fines in whole or in installments. So we cannot really say that if you contact your family member, you cannot raise at least something over time. So they cannot really contact. Option that is given is community service, parole. Aside from the fines, the imprisonment actually it's just like the last resort. If you cannot pay fines, you are imprisoned. But imprisonment too is like a substitute. It's not like a punitive measure. If you see that in section 319 sub 2 of the Administration Justice Act, you see that imprisonment is not necessarily a punitive measure, but it's like a substitute to fine payments.
Okay, as the Exchequer, how do you ensure funds and resources and transparently in the project?
Okay, we just ensured that this amount of money was for Project Reprieve. We did not just say, oh, we're just keeping the money just like that. We know that this amount of money is for Project Reprieve. We keep the proper records. This is the certain amount that we need. We send it out. And that was just basically it. We just kept records, good records of how funds were reimbursed. Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm back to you, Godswill.
Thank
For our
you,
listeners
Mary.
today, what's the key takeaway about justice, fines, and poverty in Nigeria? Like, what do you have to say to the listeners of today's show?
Okay, first, do not commit offenses. That's like the first thing I'm going to tell anybody. I mean, the prison is not a great place to be. Do not involve yourself in any form of crime because you never can tell how serious it will get. There's some persons who are not going to get away with it. They'll make sure that justice is achieved. And I mean, however I want to see it, if somebody is put in prison, it's still justice because it's correct application of the law. So what I'm going to say is if you have situations where you're imprisoned and there's a fine option, try to reach out to family members or a lawyer. Try to reach out to family members or a lawyer if they can process your effective release, because I feel like someone wants to be it's not like the best place to be. So yes, that's why we are here. You can reach out to us, even though you can get why we are here. You can reach out to us, even though you can't get to lawyers. You can reach out to us. We have partnership with the Nigerian Bar Association. Yes, so you can reach out to us. We will help you get lawyers.
Okay.
So yeah.
Before we wrap up, could you take a moment to, shout out, acknowledge sponsors, partners who have supported this project?
Oh,
Yes.
thank you so much. I mean, it's important that we express gratitude to persons who made this possible. Most of them are behind the scenes. You just see us who are like the foot soldiers. So we want to sincerely appreciate all our donors and partners. I mean, if I have the floor, I will list out all of them in no particular order. I want to thank the Honorable Attorney General of the State and Commissioner for Justice, Chief Ededem Ani. I mean, it's not easy to get the endorsement and support of the Chief Law Officer of the state, but he granted us this opportunity. Such a great man. I want to appreciate him especially. Then I want to thank the Honorable Commissioner for Finance, Dr. Michael Odere. I mean, he's not even a lawyer, but when we met him, he bought the idea and promised support and fulfilled it. We want to thank the Chairman of Calabar Municipal Right, Honorable James Anam. We thank Prince Edwin Okon. Prince Edwin Okon is the Chairman of the Internal Revenue Service, Cross River State. We want to thank Mr. Joseph Edet, popularly known as La Shakara. He is the MD of Summit Hills. We want to thank Honorable Nkoyo Twitter. She's the SA Interparty Affairs. We thank Lady Melody Lebo Esquire. She's the SA Blue Economy. And we thank our very good friends who came and said, I'm not a Esquire. Alex Abang is a lawyer too. We thank Obase Sam Oden Nubi. And we want to especially thank our legal partners. I mean, we are studying lawyers, or we need to partner with practicing lawyers. And Barrister James Iwo of Basic Rights Law Partners opened his arms, and he did not do this alone. He sent one of the associates to Barrister Spencer Obo. And we thank everybody who has supported us behind the scenes. Because there are some persons who shared our flyers, who linked up with one or two donors. We especially appreciate every one of you. And to the team, great guys. So yeah.
All right. And how can even more people, such as NGOs, policymakers, or individuals, get involved or support Project Reprieve? Contact, how do they reach out to you?
So thank you very much. So I don't know if I stated it earlier. I believe the issue of criminal justice reform is not one that is limited to just lawyers or law students only. It's one that everybody, every member of the society can partake in, because our goal is to make sure that only persons who do not have any option should be incarcerated. So you can reach out to us on our Instagram, Gani FCJ. Yes, that's like contact details for now. I don't give my personal number. Yeah, so the firm's Instagram is Gani FCJ. You can reach out to us. I mean, you have money and you feel like, I want to support the cause of justice, we can help you facilitate it.
All right. Project Reprieve shows us that justice isn't just written in law. It happens when legal diligence account together to cut decisions into real freedom for those who need it most. To our guests from the Gani Fawehinmi Chambers of Justice,